I really think each golfer has like two things that are super important to their golf game. One would be their mechanics, and the other would be their skill level. So, like mechanics is what can you see on camera, and how much does it look like Adam Scott or Tiger Woods, right? How perfect does it look? But then you look at like the career of Adam Scott, who I would say, dang, I don't know what you would do different, right? That's a perfect swing. But he didn't win every tournament. So that must not tell the whole story, right? And then you look at the skill side and you're like, well, boy, there's some weird swings that just work, right? Bubba Watson, like, does anyone teach that swing? Probably not. But $50 million and two green jackets later, it's like, well, can't argue with the result. So I think every golfer needs to understand you probably need to build both at the same time. It can't just be, make sure your takeaway is perfect and you'll hit the ball better. Like false. Like that's not true. So for me, when I look back at my career, I think I spent so much on the skill side. Like I really didn't know what my mechanics should look like. I didn't video my swing very often. I went and took lessons. We didn't really use a ton of video, which maybe was a good thing, maybe it wasn't. But now I look at it and I'm like, I was probably almost maxed out on the skill side for what I have, and my mechanics just weren't as good as they needed to be to play like at the next level. So I don't know what the question was, but that's kind of how I think of it.
I feel like I've gone through phases where I've swung the other way too far, like get super into mechanics, especially when something's not
Not good
going
for you.
right. And
Yeah,
yeah, and then like swing thoughts start coming, and it's more about like the swing looking nice. And again, like you said, there's times for that. And it was less
totally.
about just striking the ball well. And it was
Correct.
just,
It's There's a big difference, right? It's like, are you in a
yeah,
performance mindset or are you in an improvement slash learning mindset? Because if you're in the learning mindset, that's where you better have the foam balls down, better have the video on. But if you're in a performance mindset, I tell this to people all the time, hole 17, TPC Sawgrass, it's 138. You got to hit the green for $1 million. I like, dude, you better not be thinking of or caring what your swing looks like in that moment, right? Like, hit the green, find a way to hit the green, be an athlete, use your athletic intuition, like hit the green, get your $1 million, right? I don't think anybody cares if you had an inside takeaway. Like, they're going to be high fiving you for the million you just won. So, like, that's the analogy I like to give people. Like, when the chips are down, I don't care what it looks like. Like, I hope it looks decent, hopefully, but like, I care more where the ball ends up.
yeah. I've taken comfort too, and like you search like PGA golf swing, and it's going to be like Rory, Adam Scott who come up. But then
Oh
looking
yeah,
more into like John Rahm's swing, I've always liked more of an inside takeaway, more shallow, and
sure.
just seeing the way he does it is like okay, it's okay to
Yeah,
have a little different swing. And it's like
totally.
yeah, it
I
doesn't
think
have to
it's
look perfect.
always has to be function over aesthetics. Like, we could sit there with Nelly Corda on one side of the screen and you on the other, and we could play picture match all day. But does that actually help you? That's the question you got to ask yourself. And if you're changing something, is it helping you produce better or more consistent impact positions? Because if it doesn't, it might be a waste of time. That's how I feel.